Hello again, everybody. It's the American Doofus Show. Welcome back. I'm your host, Barry Welsh. And today I spent the afternoon in Louisville, Kentucky at 6th and Jefferson at the park, at the heart of the protests of the death of Breonna Taylor and David McAtee. This is a brief wrap-up of my afternoon. When I first went into the park, first of all, I looked like me and an older white guy showing up at the park that nobody knows. They were a little hesitant as is to be expected. A lot of the people didn't want to talk to me on camera, but they did give me their opinions on things. I want to mention once again, I mentioned earlier in one of the videos live from Louisville that the Louisville street medics, these are people that are there in the park. They're there when the protesters march. They were integral when things turned ugly. And please go to the Facebook page, Louisville Street Medics, and see what they need as far as supplies and possibly make a donation. I did meet Summer Dickerson this afternoon. Summer's one of the live streamers that I watch to keep up on what's going on down in Louisville. And Summer is also has a street ministry called the Women of the Well, and deals with sex trafficking and child abductions. And Summer's going to be doing a segment with me. One of our episodes is going to be devoted to what Summers is doing down in Louisville. Also, Drayshawn Reed in Indianapolis, some information coming out. The autopsy was released to the family. We're going to do an episode upcoming on that as well. But to find out what it feels like in the square, you really have to be there. There's a totally different vibe than many other places. As I said, I was in Louisville all afternoon. You might hear Doofus Dog in the background. She wasn't happy that I wasn't home, and she's not happy that I'm not giving her 100% of my attention at the moment. It's good to be loved. It's good to be missed, and I thank Doofus Dog for that. I'm going to be commenting a lot more on what's happening in Louisville. Some things coming up this weekend that we'll be talking about as well. But I just wanted to mention that it was kind of split about Grandmaster Jay and the NFAC being in Louisville. About half the people there didn't want them coming to begin with and weren't happy that they were there. Then there was a segment that was like, we're glad they came, but then they left and we're just kind of left us hanging. Then there was a segment that was, can't wait for them to come back on August 22nd. And if we don't have answers, then a lot of frustration and anger is going to come out. Hopefully I've gained a little bit of trust and built some relationships with some people in the park. So when I go down there next week, they'll be a little more receptive to talking on camera once they understand that I'm not trying to do anybody down there any harm. Again, I totally understand their reluctance, and I totally understand their suspicions. People that look like me often want to do them harm, and you can't judge a book by its cover. And that's one of the things that Davon Taylor talked about, a really interesting, exceptional young man that is the subject of the interview for Live from Louisville. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for subscribing. If you haven't, please do. Share this, as always, with your family and friends. And I love you all for watching. Thank you very much. I'm Barry Welsh. This is the American Doofus. Until next time.